2.8 million Americans go to work every day and answer the same 10 questions over and over and over again. Password resets, where's my order, can I get a refund? Gartner says AI will handle 80% of those interactions autonomously by 2029, but the tools to do it exist right now. 5 agents, 1 pipeline. Let me show you exactly how it works. So here's the thing. I've worked customer service for a long time across multiple roles. Call centers, hospitality, you name it. And I can tell you, it is usually pretty thankless. Very rarely do you have a great call. Very rarely is someone calling customer service without an actual issue that's bothering them. I've worked at call centers where we had 50 calls in queue, you've got KPIs you're trying to hit, and you're just trying to stay afloat. The thing that alleviates it the most is having a great team, a great manager who can take some of that off your plate. But a lot of times that's not the case. You need to put food on the table, so you found a role that pays the bills, and you're just trying to stay alive. The old fix? Hire more people. Customer service reps make about $20 an hour. You train them for weeks, and turnover is brutal. This is one of the highest burnout roles in any company. So you're constantly hiring, constantly training, and the queue never actually shrinks because your product keeps growing, and so does the volume. Now, I run 2 products. Orderly, which is an inventory system for bars, and Decipher, a language learning app. I'm still pretty early with both of them. Decipher just launched, and Orderly is still in talks with clients. I haven't gotten a flood of support tickets yet, but I know from experience what's coming, and I've been building a pipeline to handle a majority of them before they pile up. So here's how it's structured. If you watched episode 1, you know this already, but a quick refresher for the new folks. An agent is not a chatbot. A chatbot is a search bar with a personality. You type a question, it gives you its best guess, and if it's wrong, good luck. An agent pipeline is more like a management structure. Think of it like running a team. A request comes in. Your first person assesses it, what this is, and how urgent is it. Then someone pulls up the relevant history and context. Then someone actually takes action on it. If it's something big, something with real weight, it gets kicked up to a senior person who has full context on everything that's already been tried. And after it's handled, you do a review. What went well, what didn't, what can we do better next time? I love thinking about it this way because I can basically task my agents to do little bits. I put my input in, and we all work together to get to the finish line. 5 steps, 5 agents. Each one does exactly one job and hands off to the next. Let's build the team. Every message that comes in, email, live chat, phone transcript, Instagram DM, doesn't matter. It all hits Agent 1 first. Its job is pure classification. 3 things. What category is this? Billing, technical, account management, shipping, general question. How urgent is it? Critical, high, medium, low. And what's the customer's emotional state? Are they frustrated, neutral, actually happy and just have a quick question? It also extracts the key details, order numbers, account IDs, product names, and attaches them to the ticket as structured data. That matters because every agent downstream can now use those details without asking the customer to repeat themselves. And this is the part I care about most. The biggest thing is making sure that everything is logged somewhere. A small problem that could have been answered on Monday shouldn't wait until the following Friday and turn into a big issue. I've missed critical messages before because they were buried under routine stuff. Everyone has. That's real life, and that's exactly why I like AI for this, because a lot of the routine stuff can be automated and taken off my plate so I can focus on the more important things. Here's a real example. 2 tickets come in an Orderly's inbox at the same time. I can't seem to find my products tab. Where is it? And your system didn't seem to charge me for this month. Is everything okay? Agent 1 routes the first one to the support queue. Medium priority, neutral sentiment. The second one goes to billing. High priority, confused. 2 completely different paths from here. Agent 1 is done in about 2 seconds. Agent 2 is the librarian. It doesn't answer anything. Its entire job is to find the answer. When a triage ticket arrives, this agent searches everything. Your help docs, your FAQ, your product documentation, past resolved tickets that look similar, even internal notes if you've indexed them. It uses RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation, to pull the most relevant context and assemble a draft response. Not a guess, not a hallucination, a response built from your actual documentation and your actual history of solving this exact problem before. And here's what I've seen in every customer service role I've had. The same answer gets figured out over and over again. Someone solves it, and then 2 weeks later, someone else is solving the exact same thing from scratch. Good companies and good employees start to notice that pattern. Maybe something is legitimately wrong, and that's why you're receiving all these requests about the same feature. You can either fix the root cause, or, if it's not easily fixed, at least log the answer so the next person can respond quickly. Hey, we're working on this. This is something that's known. Here's the best workaround for now. That gives the customer a real human interaction instead of starting from zero every time. The agent finds those answers instantly. A Decipher user writes in, how do I import a book from Project Gutenberg? Agent 2 pulls the exact help article, the relevant walkthrough screenshots, and the 3 most similar resolved tickets, including one where a user had the same issue on Android specifically. Draft response is assembled and ready, and it took about 4 seconds. Okay, Agent 3 doesn't just suggest an answer, it takes action. Password reset, it triggers the reset flow and sends the email. Order status, it pulls the tracking number from the shipping API and formats a response with the delivery estimate. Subscription cancellation, it processes the cancellation, checks if there's a retention offer to apply, and sends the confirmation. This agent actually resolves tickets. Closed. Done. Customer gets their answer, the ticket is off the board. Now I'll be honest, this is also one of the most terrifying parts. There was a story about a car dealership chatbot that had too much power and someone was able to convince it to sell a truck for $1. I don't know if that's fully confirmed or an internet myth, but the point stands. If you give AI the ability to make financial decisions without guardrails, you can get into real trouble fast. For something like Orderly, where bars and restaurants have real money on the line, I would much rather have billing disputes handled by a real person. Even if you have a great automated system, someone real has to check it. At the end of the day, it's ultimately someone's responsibility, and if ignored, it can lead to real problems. You've got to be careful with that kind of thing. But the good thing for the routine stuff, the numbers are real. Intercom's Fin agent averages a 66% automated resolution rate across more than 6,000 customers. Their top performers are above 80%. Klarna's AI assistant handled 2.3 million conversations in its first month, 2/3 of all of their company service, doing the work of 700 full-time agents. That's the 80% we're talking about. Not every ticket, not billing disputes, but the ones with clear patterns and clear actions, implemented correctly and slowly. Now here's where most people get this wrong. They hear 80% automation and think the goal is 100%. It's not. Pretending AI can handle everything is exactly how you lose customers. Agent 4 handles the 20% that still needs a human, but, and this is the whole point, it doesn't just dump the ticket on someone's desk. It packages it. And let me tell you why this matters from personal experience. You don't have to get into theology or belief in heaven and hell, but having to repeat your story 7 times to 7 different agents who are all genuinely trying to help is hell on earth. Getting transferred around, a call drops, and you have to start over. It's tough to stay calm with, and it's really just frustrating. It's awful. Now on the left is what an escalated ticket looks like today. It's a raw message from the customer. The human agent has to ask the customer to explain the problem again, look up the account manually, check the order history, check what's already been tried, and they're starting from step 1. On the right is what a pipeline escalated ticket can look like. The human gets the full conversation history, the customer's sentiment score, every resolution that was already attempted, the relevant account context pulled up and ready, and a suggested resolution path based on similar past escalations. The human agent picks up at step 7 instead of step 1. That's not replacing the human, that's giving them superpowers. And the data backs it up. Intercom found that teams using AI Copilot alongside the escalation pipeline closed 31% more conversations per day. Not because they're working harder, because they're starting off with context instead of starting from scratch. Now this is the last agent, and honestly this might be the most important one long term. Agent 5 reviews every resolved ticket, automated and human, and looks for patterns. What are the top 10 issues this week? Which categories are trending up? Where is the AI getting it wrong? What's the average resolution time? What's customer satisfaction by channel? And critically, where are the knowledge base gaps? If the same question keeps coming in and the knowledge base doesn't have a good answer for it, Agent 5 flags it. Because if you have 100 different people reaching out all talking about the same thing, that's probably something worth at least looking into. It can even draft an updated help article based on how human agents have been answering that question manually. Now let me run the whole thing so you can feel how it flows. A batch of 50 tickets comes in Monday morning. Agent 1 triages all 50 in under a minute. 30 get routed as routine, order status, password resets, how-to questions. 15 are billing or account questions with clear resolution paths, and 5 are complex, emotional, or edge cases. Agent 2 would pull knowledge-based context for all 45 automatable tickets. Agent 3 resolves them, sends responses, triggers actions, closes tickets. Total time, maybe 5 minutes. The 5 complex tickets hit Agent 4. Each one gets packaged with full context and a suggested path. Your human agent picks them up, already at step 7, and resolves them in 1 or 2 replies instead of sending 10 messages back and forth. At the end of the day, Agent 5 produces the insights report. Here's what happened, here's what's trending, here's where the system struggled, and here's where to update. Your team's entire job shifted from answer the same question for the 400th time to handle the hard stuff with full context and improve the system. That's a fundamentally different job, and frankly, it's a better one. Now, an honest moment here. Maybe there's an emotional situation, a customer who's genuinely upset and just needs to feel heard, not just helped. AI can detect the sentiment, but it can't provide real empathy. Those need a human, full stop. And anything customer-facing at some point needs to be touched by a human. Whether it's an automated email blast going out, you might need to check to make sure it's authentic and sounds like you. Removing busy work from people and providing basic responses is great, but large issues, things where you really need to work face-to-face with customers, I think that will always have a human touch. And here's the one thing that nobody talks about. The first month is rough. Your knowledge base is to be good before the AI can be good. If your docs are outdated and your FAQ hasn't been touched since 2023, Agent 2 has nothing useful to retrieve, and Agent 3 has nothing useful to act on. I have a video editing agent I'm still working with, and I've only been feeding it my own edited videos so it can learn from my cuts and my style. If I fed it garbage, it would produce garbage. Same thing here. You have to make sure you're giving it good data, otherwise the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Now, Klarna. Everybody loves that story, and I think people love it for two reasons. First, a lot of people are fearful about AI, which is totally fair. We're on the precipice of a very interesting part of the human timeline. People love to see when the robot fails. But the second thing, that story is about greed. That's Greed 101. Firing 700 employees at once because their AI product is kind of working on a small scale, and then having to bring them back has got to be rough. You've got to go in baby steps. We're still way too early to make sweeping changes when you're affecting people's lives. You want to employ as many people as possible to build your product and still make a buck. You've got to balance that. The honest number, 60 to 80% of volume on day one. Gets better every week. It doesn't eliminate your team, it transforms what they spend their time on. If you're watching this and you run a small business and you're drowning in support requests, here's what I'd say before you even think about AI. Identify what the support requests are actually for. Take a month, take a few weeks, figure out what buckets your tickets are landing in. You have to identify the problem before you can solve it. Just implementing AI to solve something you think is the biggest issue without any data to back it up is going to cause chaos. For all you know, it's something simple that you don't even need AI for. You just need to say, hey, all the customers are having this problem. Cool, let's go tackle that. And that was 75% of your tickets. Now you're in a much better place. Customer service is one of the roles that's going to feel the effects of AI first because chatbots are already pretty accurate nowadays. Being able to get an answer in 10 seconds instead of waiting on a phone call is a better experience, even compared to talking to a regular person. But it's also one of the things that can really mess up the way people feel about your business the fastest. A bad customer service experience, whether it's bad people or bad robots, really can affect it. I'm actually curious. Drop a comment and tell me what % of your tickets are the same 10 questions. I'm guessing it's higher than you think. Next week, we're doing this exact format for a role that literally everyone has an opinion about: recruiting and HR. If you've ever applied for 200 jobs and heard back from 3, that episode is going to explain exactly why and how AI is about to change the whole process on both sides. I'll see you there.